It is great to be with you here today to talk about this serious subject, and the presence of so many people here, first thing in what is a very busy week, indicates, I think, the overwhelming concern that there is for action in this area. I do want to begin by acknowledging President von der Leyen, Prime Minister Mitsotakis, Prime Minister Abela, Prime Minister Eke, and my friend Prime Minister Rambuka, who are all joining us here today. I want to acknowledge Australia's Communications Minister, Annika Wells, for her leadership in this important area. I also want to acknowledge someone special that you're going to hear from soon, Emma Mason. Emma will tell her story and why she's travelled to New York to speak to you very directly about why we're all here today. Whipper, he's actually got a first name that I've just discovered. His name is Michael, apparently. No one else has known that, so there's a breaking story. He's the co-founder of 36 Months, and he's a major media personality in Australia. Mel Pilling, who has led through News Corp the Let Them Be Kids campaign as well. Now, all of us appreciate the benefits that the internet has brought us, yet we're also aware that within its transformative gift of connectivity, there are risks to our children. The challenge we face is constantly evolving, and different countries are tackling it in different ways. Annika has just spoken about the work of Fiji and Tonga in our own region. I want to talk about our way and how we've got there, and listen to the approaches also, though, taken by others. On the 10th of December, Australia will introduce social media age restrictions that go further than any country has ever done before. It is 1 year since we passed the legislation through the Parliament with bipartisan support through both of our houses. We have used this 1 year period to protect young Australians at a critical stage of their development, giving them 3 more years to build real-world connections and online resilience. 3 more years to get better at spotting the fakes and spotting the dangers, at learning the difference between online followers and real friends, and at becoming more adept at avoiding the pressures of measuring themselves against impossible standards. 3 more years of being shaped by real-life experience, not shaped by algorithms, and developing the increased maturity and the perspective that will allow them to shrug off what, a couple of years earlier, might have felt just overwhelming for them. It's the right thing to do by children, and it's the right thing to do by parents. It isn't foolproof, but it is a crucial step in the right direction. As social media evolves, as the tug-of-war between real life and endless scrolling grows ever more uneven, the load is not one that should be borne by kids and their parents alone. Governments have a responsibility. With this law, what we are saying to parents and kids is you don't have to. Australia is proudly bipartisan when it comes to online safety. As we tackle menaces ranging from deep fake pornography to violent extremist material, we work together across the political spectrum. Indeed, Australia's online regulator, the E-Safety Commissioner, was established by the previous government and supported by my party in opposition. Success, of course, is always most assured when government, business and civil society work together. And I do want to acknowledge the grassroots campaigns that have been led by 36 Months and News Corp's Let Them Be Kids campaign. Through them, I have had the solemn privilege of spending time with parents who have felt the full, devastating impact that social media can have. Some remain on the long journey with their children towards mental and physical healing. Others, devastatingly, have lost a child to suicide. I've listened to their stories of girls and boys with bright futures, only to be so overwhelmed by what got to them through their social media accounts that they simply didn't see any other way out, any other way for the pain to end. It is an experience that affected me deeply. In what world should a 14-year-old be exposed to sexual extortion? It is a wilderness that no child should know. It is a burden that no parent should have to bear. And yet, amid their grief, these mums and dads have found the most profound way to express their love for their children. They're working to give other young Australians a chance of a future safe from online harm. Their courage is a powerful reminder of why our government is determined to back them and keep young Australians safe online. Put simply in one sentence, we want children to have a childhood, not too much to ask, to be off their phones, on the sporting fields, or playing music, or hanging out with friends. To live a life lit up not by the glow of a screen, but by all the wonderful ingredients that go into making the human experience. When we made this announcement at the press conference in my courtyard, one of the questions that we got was, oh, well, how will people interact and communicate with each other? I said, how about people talk to each other and have that normal human-to-human interaction that's a part of growth? It's how we those of us in the pre-social media age when we were young, engaged and grew as young humans. We want everyone to have that opportunity. We want them engaging with each other on that face-to-face basis, because when the focus is on social interaction rather than social media, society benefits. We know from experience that schools banning phones in the classroom in Australia has provided real and positive results, both academically but also socially. Who knew kids could play footy during lunchtime? Again, it's happening, rather than sitting just engaging with each other, sometimes texting each other, even though they're only 3 or 4 feet away. That has made a big difference. In contrast, we know that social media is causing social harm for some of our kids. And what we say to the operators of social media as well, that you also have a social responsibility, because there is a clear link between the rise of social media and the harm to the mental health of young people across the world. We need to give kids more time to develop the maturity and the skills to navigate the online world safely. What we're doing isn't easy, and we also don't pretend that it will be perfect. It is possible that in Australia, sometime over the weekend, someone 18 got access to alcohol that they shouldn't have. It doesn't mean that we don't have a law that says that you have to be 18 to enter into a premises and have a beer or a glass of wine. It means that society is able to set what are the guardrails, and what can be more important than setting the guardrails for our young people. Because we do need to give kids more time to develop the maturity and the skills to navigate the online world safely. So, it's not easy, but we know that the burden that social media can place on our young people is often much harder. On the 10th of December, we begin to lighten their load. And we know that the world will be watching, which is why we are so pleased to have our European friends, our friends from the Pacific, people such as our Ambassador Kevin Rudd will be driving it through here in the United States as well. We have also Baron from the Pacific Island Forum has joined us here today as well. We know the world is certainly going to be watching, and so we are glad you're here. Now, it's now my honour, in conclusion, to introduce a true inspiration. Someone who has, as I spoke earlier, personified what this issue is about. A mother who found the courage to channel her grief into the most profound and powerful call for change. More than a call for change, really. A demand for change. A demand that people in positions of power use that power to protect vulnerable young people. Her story personifies why we are here, and I want you to welcome a great Australian, someone who I've been very proud to engage with over recent times as well, Emma Mason.